What's up, everybody? James Gore, Sonoma County Supervisor. I'm here with Bert Whitaker. Bert is the director of Sonoma County Regional Parks, but more than that, a friend, a fellow lover of the outdoors all over the world, but especially cultivating it here in Sonoma County. It's good to have you today.
Thank you, James. And it is wonderful to be here, and I do love our Sonoma County parks.
Yeah. Well, let's just jump in. I mean, we could do overviews, underviews. We could talk high level, low level. But, you know, we live in this beautiful, beautiful place. I tell people that Sonoma County is this place that when people come here, they want to stay. So they try to buy houses, they rent, they want to move here. And when they leave, they come back. And, you know, I was born in Hillsburg. I grew up swimming in one of our regional parks down on the Russian River, just Memorial Beach down there. And what's funny about that is that was your first job here in Sonoma County, was a lifeguard over there on Memorial Beach. Isn't that right?
Yeah, this started in 1995, and I could not agree with you more that Sonoma County is just, it's infectious. I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to discover this place during college, and had the bit of odd notoriety of I used to be the lifeguard that swam to work. I lived on Fitch Mountain for many years, and I will never forget like the morning fog of swimming down there and being like, wow, this is incredible. A pinch me moment from a kid who grew up in Dallas, Texas. So
the lifeguard who swam to work.
Yeah, the people
it's
always
like
laugh.
A children's book.
No, I mean, and this is like college days. So there's like a Ziploc bag with my lunch in it,
like a manatee out there, like.
No,
here comes Bert.
Well, and also growing up on the river too. You remember back in the day, the Trowbridge canoes.
Yeah.
And folks would just leave them, and oftentimes I'd be swimming and see an abandoned canoe, and I would just jump in and paddle it back. And the Trowbridge folks were so happy that I would just bring their canoe back to them, and I would go do my day at work.
Ladies and gentlemen, the dream has been achieved.
Yeah, it's
and all these years later, I mean, I thought it was so cool because when I first became a county supervisor and got elected, you and I connected. You were in the deputy position, deputy director. You were really, I call it the COO of the parks, is the way I kind of knew you, is that you just knew everything about the park system. But I didn't know about your history before you became the director, and since that time is really the vision that you cultivated being with regional parks for that long. So have you worked continuously with Sonoma County Regional Parks since 1995?
I have almost worked continuously, the better part of 30 years now. I did take a few hiatuses here and there and got a few other experiences, but I've always been struck by the Sonoma County system. I mean, and now being involved with it for nearly 3 decades, a career's worth of seeing it and getting to be a part of it. It is just, it's incredible. I mean, Sonoma County is something, I pinch myself every week. I learn something new about the land. I go somewhere new I didn't understand here before, and you know, really bringing that to the parks and trying to create that future vision, because these places are impactful, they are meaningful to the human experience here, and we're in a moment in time where Sonoma County really did not have and still does not have the level of park system and connectivity that personally I would like to see in my role. Well,
think about this. So Sonoma County, part of what we do when we do these discussions is we talk about what was and what's the to-be scenario, and where are we at in the middle. And where we were is this was all land grant area, right? Actually, Sonoma, the town of Sonoma, is where the Bear Flag Revolt happened, where that first bear flag went up. This is an area that, as Mexican land grants, those were kind of deeded out to private individuals. Uniquely, Sonoma County, as opposed to Mendocino County North and a lot of the eastern counties, had really no public land. So when I say public land, we're talking about U.S. Forest Service. We're talking about federal land, right? Bureau of Reclamation, Bureau of Land Management, like all these different holdings where if you go to Mendocino County up to the Oregon border, you're talking about huge swaths of public land. And those were areas that people could go onto. They were public land. Sonoma County, traditionally 99% plus private land. So we were operating in a deficiency where if you wanted to go out and experience nature in a park-like setting, you had to set foot on private property. So the Sonoma County Regional Park System had to be created and go through iterations and expand. And so tell us now, when you started, how many parks and how many acres were there in 1995, and what do you manage now?
Yeah, I remember my first park map of the system, and it was around 35 parks. We were around 3,000 acres of parkland.
3,000 acres.
3,000 acres, and that has grown and evolved in that 30 years since to now be around 60 facilities and nearly 20,000 acres. And that has been years and years of growth and very strategic acquisitions to create what we have
So
today.
a little less than double the number of parks, but almost 10 times the number of acres.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's where we talk about these big holdings. Taylor Mountain. We have now the Monoreal Redwoods up Willow Creek out there, these huge forest properties. We have pocket parks in some areas that you manage. You manage Spring Lake, but you also manage the Beast of Annandale with state partners, right?
Yeah.
And so some of these you manage with states, with the state agencies, right? You don't manage any with the feds. We don't have that out here.
Correct.
Well, I guess a little bit with intersection with the Army Corps of Engineers in Lake Sonoma. Right.
County, yeah.
Yeah. But so where are we at with the set of parks, and where do you want to be in 10 years?
Yeah. No, I think we'll talk about where we want to be and how we've been getting there. So, I mean, essentially, the county's general plan, the park plans. I mean, the idea here is to create essentially to protect these open spaces that surround our communities, to work towards connecting those open spaces to each other and to the urban centers around them, particularly in the 101 corridor. We've seen tremendous growth. As you mentioned, the Monoreal Redwoods expansion. That's a recent 2,000 acre addition to the system for the county parks, but that's building on 30 years of work and nearly now a connected network of 20,000 acres of state parkland and county parkland. I mean, that is incredible. When I first came here on the coast, 1995, you looked at the map and there were little nuggets of Sonoma Coast State Park along the beach, but really the stuff protecting the coastal hills, the view sheds, the things there, that's all happened in very, very recent times. And it's really, really exciting because that landscape in particular is of international value. This is a national park we have in our own backyard.
Yeah, it is.
And we're really working to really secure that and protect
It's
that
the best
future.
of all worlds, because even though would be considered an international draw, which it is, we have a lot of local control. And that's what I like about our park system is that we can attune it and adapt it based upon what our community wants or our visitors that are coming in.
Yeah. And here in Sonoma County, I mean, we are living in the reality of climatic change that's happening faster than we would have expected. We're living in a post-large-scale wildfire world that is completely different than what I've realized when I started my career here in the 90s. And people sort of look at me strange sometimes, but like Monoreal Redwoods, we are keenly focused on making the most incredible redwood experience that is going to be now, but particularly 100, 1,000, 10,000 years from now, these places have to be protected. And we're really trying to do those steps now to get the ecosystem back in balance so we can work with it and be a part of it.
God, it's so cool. So let's go back to that. You were answering a question, which was, what is it going to look like? And where are we at on that path?
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. I take great pride in looking at the park map these days because as you look around the county, I mean, Sonoma County is, I mean, you talked a little bit about Mendocino County to the north, and you didn't mention Marin County is the same situation to the south. It's largely federal or state-owned lands. We're stuck in this middle, and Sonoma County, actually, of all those counties, like we are one of the most interesting spots on the planet. We touch the San Pablo Bay. We are on the Pacific Ocean. We have the Russian River. We have got the mountains. We've got the redwood groves. We've got the oak woodlands. We've got these Douglas fir forests that are massive and special. We've really been trying to assemble a collection of these properties around the county, these different ecologically highly diverse landscapes, create the nodes of protected lands, continue connecting them, continue to grow them. So for example, Hood Mountain. Hood Mountain has more than doubled in size in the last 5 years. For many, many years, Hood Mountain was the largest park. And then for a while, it was Tully Lake Regional Park down in South County. Now, Hood Mountain's back on top, and we're having this, I sort of joke about it, competition of growing these land masses. But that is really in like partnership with this strong public desire. The community that lives here values this. The organizations like the Land Trust, our Ag and Open Space District, our other state funding agencies, like so many folks see the value and the importance of Sonoma County. And we're really just trying to stabilize and find that right formula that mix for this Bay Area urban county, but also a rural county that's trying to preserve its identity in this amazing landscape we enjoy.
You know, I like that you say that because we're considered in a planning zone in this area to be a part of the Bay Area, but then we're also a part of the North Coast Resource Partnership.
Yeah, we're interesting overlap zone.
We have areas that are much more akin to communities, not only in Mendo, but in Humboldt, Modoc, and in rural places like that. Especially, like I always say, where I get on the freeway, which is Dry Creek Road, is like if I go south, it's all more people, and if I go north, I'm wilderness bound.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have a choice on a weekend with my wife and my kids. Like, you know, do I want less or do I want more? Because we like it for different reasons. But it's really cool also because then we, as you say, we have these places that aren't just huge tracts of 10,000 acre stuff. We have these other areas where you're managing a park, like I've said before, at Spring Lake, where it's high visitorship. You're pumping people through. You know, you want to get as many people onto the land as possible. And one of the cool things you go to a park is that the diversity of people that you see. Because all those folks who don't have big backyards like I do, all those folks who live in multifamily and other things, a lot of those individuals who culturally, ethnically, they love to have big parties. You see that at parks. You see this amazing kind of diversity. Can you talk to me about the locals who use our parks and then also the people who come from outside?
Yeah, it's a both and discussion there. And so, there's no question. I mean, these park facilities, what we see around the county, Spring Lake is like the explanation point of all of this. People need these places to gather, and they need to come together. And think about your own experience, and I think about my own experience with my family. Like, that's the memorable times to go outdoors. You're in a new setting, but you've got these amazing natural and recreational things happening around you. And there's no question about it, too. Sonoma County Regional Parks, we're on the map as a regional destination. Folks are coming from all over the Bay Area. Particularly, like Spring Lake is epic. There's not many places around this country like Spring Lake. It's almost 1 million visitors a year to a town with Santa Rosa, 170,000-ish
for Spring Lake, not for
Spring
Annandale.
Lake. Spring Lake is the busiest park in our system. Over 1 million visits per year.
Good Lord.
And a good bit of them are from our local community, but a bit of them are visitors from out of county coming in to experience it. And it is that high quality of a destination. As we look around the county, even trying to look at the other towns that are growing and evolving, the Petalumas of the world, the Windsors, the Healdsburgs, working together with our city partners to create these types of environs around them as well, too. These regional sort of recreation areas where people have got a variety of experiences of more formalized picnic areas and things that are fun. You've got the parking available and the bathrooms available. And then it leads you into these explorations of the ecology of the county, to go stroll along the river, to go hike up a high mountain and get the amazing views, to go navigate along our coastline. We do a lot of work right now. We're in a good stage of trying to continue work on the California Coastal Trail. That's something in Sonoma County. It's only about a third developed. And a lot of our work is trying to fill that in.
The Coastal Trail, also the Great Redwood Trail, which is a whole another vision being realized. And so we're at an exciting time because I think we have, these amazing parks, but we have great park partners. People are coming here. People want to be in these parks. Our locals want to be in these parks. It's the best part of my portfolio as a supervisor. Sure, people want to be cranky about potholes and permits and homelessness and housing. But when I go talk about parks, I mean, some people are concerned, but it's usually the people who it means that there's going to be cars driving by or people parking. I mean, we definitely have our NIMBYs on this side of the things, but realistically, this is a joyful portfolio. So let's talk about this. I asked you to come in prepared to tell me what are your top 3 parks or top 5 parks or experiences. How you answer that? So you're in Sonoma County, you wake up, we got places out on the beach where you can go surf. We got places in the mountains where you can go mountain biking. We got valley, environs, as you say, places where you can go out and catch bugs and be an amateur entomologist. What do you like to do personally on these parks?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I'm a bit close to the situation, but my wife tolerates me every weekend when I wake up because we spend a good part of our free time exploring our Sonoma County Regional Parks, and I just, it's so amazing to live in a place where, depending on the time of the year, depending on what the weather is like, depending on how energetic you're feeling, there's places for quiet strolls, there's places for just outright agonizing, gruesome hikes, the whole range in between. People ask me time and time again, what is your favorite park, Mr. Whitaker? Like, where should I go to? And the answer is really this interactive dialogue. Well, what kind of experience are you looking for? Because nearly any experience someone describes, we've got a pretty high quality example of a way to go out and have that experience. And something that we're looking at, that not all parks do the same thing or do one thing. There's multiple varieties of ways to try and really breach and improve the accessibility of the facilities. We have a community here that is aging, and we're seeing really trying to come up with ways to create and enhance that so folks feel welcome, because that's such an important part of being willing to explore. We're very successful with our park membership program. Gosh, I love the green hang tags you see everywhere you drive around the county. And time again, what those folks tell me when I talk to them is, I got a parking tag because I always go to Spring Lake or I always go to Doran. And what I found is once I got that park map and I had that hang tag to give me access to the other 59 facilities I was interested in, I went on and started checking them out. And I started getting more and more into what Sonoma County is and how to experience it.
You've talked about this before we even started, we were talking about how beautiful thing is that people adopt their local park or the one that they love. But as you've said, is don't get blind. Don't get myopic, which is a nice word for blind. Get tunnel vision. Like if you live in Windsor, don't just go to Foothill all the time. I mean, we're not talking smack about Foothill, but go to Riverfront, go to Shiloh, or keep going. Keep going. Go to Petaluma. Why not?
Yeah. Make a day out of it. Just
Make
go
a day out of
hit
it.
4 or 5 parks.
Okay, but now I'm going to pin you down a little bit more.
Okay.
Give everybody right now a redwood hike that they should take on our park system.
I mean, the premier hike to take right now is our newest Monterey Redwoods acquisition.
Yes,
where
it
there
is.
is up to nearly 30 miles of trails up there.
Yeah.
And they are. We're very fortunate. The county benefited greatly from the works of amazing volunteers who for 30 years built the Gianni Trail Network.
Yeah, they did.
And what is up there now is there's maps, there's signs, it's accessible. Go up there and start exploring. It's a reminder. It's sort of a pinch me moment in Sonoma County where
It really is.
that Douglas fir redwood forest is vast in scale, and these are big coastal mountains, and just the views and the quality out there. You're not going to run around too many people because it's it's a 2,000 acre park, but it's built into a 20,000 acre network of connected lands in partnership with state parks.
Yeah. Okay. Russian River Park.
Oh, this is a tough one. You'll never get me to pin down a favorite. An emotional favorite certainly is Healdsburg Vets Memorial Beach. I'm with you on that one. That is where I discovered Sonoma County.
But it's also in a phase of renewal. We have a general plan process or a master planning process. We've done tons of community outreach. We're going to be looking at work that's in-stream work that can get kayaks moving and paddle boards moving better in there. We're looking at stuff on land, but it's also, we have parks that are in transition and we have other ones that are just fully operating. So Russian River, go back to it. What's the park you like right now?
All right. So if I'm going to go to 3 different modes I commonly use.
Okay.
So if I'm going to go swimming, one of my favorite swims is the swim from Del Rio to Healdsburg Beach, which I just did yesterday just to make sure the water was okay for the season. It was fantastic. If I'm going to jump on a paddleboard, typically I will go and pop in the water at Steelhead Beach with my family and friends, and we'll spend 3 or 4 hours, and we'll pull out at our new Guerneville boat launch. Right just upstream from Johnson's Beach. It's an amazing 4 or 5 hour experience.
Nice.
If I'm going to go inner tubing, I'm going to North County, and I'm going to the county line, and I'm floating down to Cloverdale River Park. It's about a 4-hour float, and I'm just happy as a clam on any of those 3 activities on most days.
So Cloverdale River Park, this is going to be, this is a project we've been working on for more than a decade.
It's getting close to a decade now.
You and I, it's funny because, we talk about history. I grew up on the mountain, just like on the edge of Mendocino County on Preston Heights right there. We got going in, we're going to be breaking ground this year on, this brand new in partnership with our Cloverdale Pomo Rancheria, our native partners, our ecological partners. We're going to be opening up a new park on the Russian River, right?
Yeah, this area of the Russian River, right up at the county line, is going to have 2 new public access points that hopefully they should be getting built this construction season. And they really open up. I mean, as someone who loves the river and has been able to, I floated with you, James. We've done the 110 miles of the river. That area of the river is uniquely different. The geology, the feel of it, the history you can feel in there. And to be able to provide, this is an area where it's not like the public doesn't know it's there. It's honestly been somewhat abused by some of the recreation out there and folks not having the proper parking and trails and restroom facilities and things, and really excited to get in there and formalize that in such a way where we can really educate folks about what it is, how to have that experience, and to go out there and have a much higher quality experience than they would have otherwise, and to really see a different piece of Sonoma County that, just as we talk about, there's different redwood groves, there's different oak woodlands, there's different bay laurel areas. This one is just, every time I come off of it, I always pinch myself and go, I don't think about this area as much as I should in the county. It's just these striking cliffs come up, and just
really is nuts.
It catches your attention, and the water just
feels spiritual there.
It does feel spiritual.
There's areas where, as you were mentioning, we did a descent of the entire stretch of the Russian River, 110 miles. I mean, we got in right underneath Lake Mendocino, which was a hilarious riot. It's like a crazy, psychotic slip and slide that almost killed a couple people. But
got out alive.
But ultimately, there's this whole section of Mendocino County where people use the river, but there's no formal parks up and down it. So it's more about people pulling out on the side,
every
getting
bridge
down
underpass,
in, every bridge underpass. Yeah. And that kind of persists through Cloverdale. But once you go that section of in between Hopland and Cloverdale, was a crazy switch too through those mountains. And then you go by Frog Woman Rock,
Yeah.
which is the old, which was called Squaw Rock when we grew up, which is really actually, for people who don't know, it's a derogatory term. It's like one of the worst names you could use for Native American women, even though it's used in the movies and everything. But you and I, when we traveled that section, there's not a lot of people there.
No.
And it is striking. So it's super cool to be able to bring that. That's what parks do. They open up a whole area. So let's keep going. Okay. Give me something in the Mayakama area.
Oh,
that you like.
I mean, Hood Mountain is just an amazing, amazing story to tell.
For a hike, for a mountain bike, what are you doing up there?
It's incredible for a hike. It's for a little bit for on a mountain bike. You need to be ready to go up 30% grades and huff and puff a little bit. A lot of the gravel bikers really appreciate what we have out of Hood Mountain. But I'll tell you,
I point because this guy has kicked my butt a couple times. You know, I've been in pretty good shape at times and not so good shape, and I go mountain biking with you.
yeah,
and,
Hood Mountain will get your attention.
Yeah.
But you know what strikes me at Hood Mountain, and you don't have to go deep. There's ways to go in there 2 or 3 miles uphill and get the sense of what it is, and you can go out there and get lost for days on end. But you get this like really special thing of like I always described it as like it's urban wilderness. I mean, literally, you're not hiking up 30 or 45 minutes, and you look one direction, and all you see is essentially undeveloped parkland, rural, Mayacamas, rugged country, oak woodland, amazing. It's recovering from the glass and the Nuns fire, and just seeing all that happen in real time. And then you turn around the other way, and suddenly you're overlooking the Santa Rosa Plain and this 101 corridor in Santa Rosa, and you're seeing the other side of the valley to the coastal range. And it's mesmerizing to think I live in Santa Rosa. Drove my car 10 minutes. I hiked 45 minutes up, and I'm entering this land. And once you drop over the ridge into the innards of Hood Mountain, you forget about the world. I mean, it really feels like a true backcountry experience. And this is between Sonoma and Napa counties, between major urban centers, and it's remarkable. And we're working our tail off to try and continue to protect more of that land.
Well, you and I, our most recent one was, I called you up, and first of all, first challenge to anybody watching this is get outside of the meeting rooms and go meet with people who you want to have conversations with in our parks. That's the first thing. First challenge to everybody. We laugh here that we have a room called the sun room, that there ain't no sun in the sun room.
That's the strangest thing.
It's a survey. It's not a server room. It's all blasted with hot air, processing government AI.
Aren't there those little tiny windows up top that just enough daylight in to know it's not dark?
They're even what do they call, frosted, so that you can see a glow, but like looks like a post-apocalyptic glow as opposed to a real sun. But so I called you up and we're like, hey, we're going to meet on Monday morning. Instead of doing that, where do you want to ride? And you were saying, how about Willow Creek, which is up by Monorail Redwoods? We didn't have as much time, so you're like, hey, let's go hit Taylor Mountain. And there's some good spots where it's more the gradient. It's not 30% right off the bat like you took me on when you kicked my butt there one time, and it was just magic. And so you and I we hit. Like part of that was like grasslands, part of it was gradual climb, part of it was tough, part of it went through like Colgan Creek, as you said, got, the scents all changed through it. And as you kept saying, I mean, we were looking at Bennett Valley, and we were looking over the fairgrounds, and we were all right these different things there, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it's so easy. It's too convenient to not enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, Taylor was just such an amazing opportunity for the county and in our partners to like, those 8 new miles of trails. Number one, it's the largest trail project in the county since Annandale, honestly, in the late 70s. But we like the modern trail design to come up with the newer trails. That this is an evolving world. It's a real thing of getting out there and working. It's craftsmen that design these things, and to come up with those like experiences as you saw on your bike. Like you're cranking up it, and then there's a little lull in the trail, whether you're on a bike or you're hiking. It gives the body a break, and it just gives you those moments to catch your breath, to look around and feel good. And really, I mean, the trails is something that, as we look at the system, the growing system, and that's the number one service we provide, is a network of over 250-mile trails throughout the county. 250
miles of trails.
And these are the things you think of, like our Joe Rodota Trail and our West County Trail, these paved multi-use bikeways. But more and more so, these larger parks becoming regional connectors. And as I mentioned earlier, like trying to connect them to each other. When we look at growing Hood Mountain, we're working diligently on Mark West Regional Park, my other favorite, the Mayacamas. How can we work with partners to get this bigger vision going of protecting these things and giving the public some insight to them? Because when the private property, no one gets to see into there and to sort of understand and appreciate what it is.
I couldn't agree more. I think the other thing to give kudos to is the parks team. You have an amazing group of people who, first of all, they love what they do. They're connected to a mission. being connected to parks is in one way is helping people get access who don't have access to the outdoors. The other thing though is that, you know, a lot of these individuals, they love like trying to find unique ways to cobble together, not just landscapes, but also experiences so that different people can access. So that we have some areas like we've even done down at like Del Rio where we create, you know, as good, I think, river access as you can for ADA as possible, right? For people to be able to get down in wheelchairs and other things like that, get close to the water, right?
Exactly.
So we're doing these things. As you said, is that these aren't just trails that just happen and deer trails. These are designed with amazing people who you can say, hey, I want this to be just like on a ski slope. I want us to have, you know, as you and I were saying, like green, blue squares and then diamonds so that different people can get out there and experience a mountainside. But to be able to do that, you have to have an amazing team. So how many employees you got? And you got people who are doing planning, people who are doing management, you got rangers, you got all kinds of people out there.
Yeah, no, we got about, our workforce is around 140 employees.
Yeah.
And these are individuals dedicated to natural resources. You know, our park operations, the folks, the rangers, the folks who make sure you have a great experience. Our maintenance team that's out there all the time. Things are always evolving and changing. Our planning team, really the front end of the design of these things, and really this emphasis on trail quality and making things that are much easier to operate and maintain. Certainly, we've got our Amazing Parks Foundation that has really evolved dramatically over the last 25 years, who helps bolster up and really adds meat onto the opportunities that we can do. And you know, it's been an honor to work with these individuals because like the parks team is like it's not always easy. Like everyone's, oh, this is the greatest job in the world. It's like, no, parks takes a lot. Like things are, there's always interesting challenges, be it, you know, a victim of our own success in the summer on the river. Go stroll up and down and go visit Steelhead Beach and Sunset Beach and see the crowds that are happening there. You know, we're really trying to look at the system. You
can love a place too much.
You can.
We've seen that.
And like
we've seen it on Highway 1 on out in Bodega when it's a 4-hour backlog, and everybody who charged out there to go get a respite and find some joy just ended up sitting in their cars in AC.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we
have to manage for that.
Launching the Russian River Shuttle program where folks are parking their cars down Molina now, and that's really helping. And it's sort of, I think, the future we're going to see in this county is more and more of those types of opportunities. We got to get folks out of the car, connect the lands in such a way where you can have those experiences. You know, get out of the car and go out there. That needs to happen at the coast. It needs to happen at the river. And that's future telling. That's where we've seen other areas of the country end up that scenario, because that's how you preserve and balance. Like the locals who live here need and cherish their own experience. The folks who are visiting cherish their own, and those who live here and are traveling within. All those three things need to be addressed.
You know, there's so much we could talk about, but let's just also understand that, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. What I would say is that, you know, it's a joke, but let's just say that with these lands comes a ton of responsibility. We have lands that we purchase with sales taxes that come in predominantly through the Sonoma County Agriculture and Open Space District, and we've bought fee title on land. Sometimes we buy easements onto lands that allow us to have recreation on those. You manage those. Your people go out each and every day, and they're managing. They're doing controlled fires, prescribed burning on areas in Foothill and out in Monterey, where I saw recently, where you guys, you know, are out there doing fire management way more than before. Then you also have other people who are just managing safety. You have other parks like the Joe Rodota Trail, where we, you know, have this constant clash of homelessness and squatting and all these other things. I'm not asking you to weigh in on the difficult stuff. I just want to honor the fact that you have a team that deals with a lot of things to make sure that these lands are open and accessible and safe.
Absolutely.
And safe.
And the details of all that, there's a lot of minutia to making those things work, and it changes throughout the year depending on what's going on. But, you know, kudos to my team. Adaptability. That is the key ingredient, where we're a very adaptable organization to put those to prioritize those resources where we need them. Because not all things need all the same resources all the time. You know, I love you bringing up the vegetation management work. I mean, this system, you know, we're now grazing via cows, sheep, and goats nearly every single location. That for many years, when I first started with regional parks, we were out there disking it or spraying herbicides and all these things.
Or doing nothing.
Or doing nothing. That makes
and
no sense. You know,
letting invasive species, just Scotch broom and other stuff, just grow out into the areas and cause problems.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we've evolved to really being active land managers and figuring out how to get that to a landscape scale. And the fire stuff is just truly remarkable. We've had this, you know, very challenging experience in the county with large wildfires, but our parks and really these places around our urban edges, it's really a renaissance of like how to get out there. These are things that I remember being academic in school about, and like, oh, we ever really be able to do these in somewhere like Sonoma County? And
did you know you were going to be in parks?
No, I have a science major and I liked swimming. and now I can talk for days about parks. I'll tell you about park management all you want.
It is funny you say that because I know that you also do swim treks. You know, I
travel the world and love swimming.
You guys travel around the world and do these swim treks. Check out Swim Treks.
Yeah.
Now sponsoring Explore with Gore.
Yeah, I'll hit them up for a tree trip or something.
Do that. Okay, so I want to hit a couple like strong points. First of all, for anybody who's listening or is not, is get your butt out, get a punch card, use your parks map, Sonoma County Regional Parks map.
First question I ask a new resident: do you have that park membership? If not, here's how to get it.
Here's how you get it. So a couple ways. How do you get your parks membership?
Park membership. Go online.
Yeah.
You know, if you can wait 7 to 10 days, go online. Plug it in, we'll get it in the mail to you. If you're an immediate gratification to individual, head on down to our main offices of 400 Aviation here in the airport area.
Yeah.
We would gladly get you one during normal business hours. If you look on the website too, places like REI, many of the sporting goods stores, they'll be able to issue you a pass.
And so get your parks pass. Even if you live next to a place, like I go to Foothill in Windsor, and there's more people parking on the street out in front so that they don't have a parks pass, so they don't go into our parking lot. I would just challenge you also, get the damn parks pass. Yeah. Don't just park outside and park for free. Go in there and do it. It's not expensive. It helps the whole system. Second thing I would say is that for people who are looking to the one area that I left off was the coast. For people who want to get out to the coast, what's your biggest advice to people on how to enjoy the coast through our park system?
The best advice on how to enjoy the coast: number one, get out there.
Yeah.
Secondly, with our park membership program, one of the beautiful things is it includes a free night of camping, which there's no better way to experience the coast than spending the evening and the morning hours out there. Also, I just want to make sure I mention with the park passes, if it's a challenge financially with the park pass, we have 2 different programs to help you get out there. Number one, you can come into our office and talk with us about our low income pass. So for $5 or certain criteria, we'll issue you a pass for the year. Also, all of our Sonoma County libraries, we have amplified the number of parking passes that you can just check out, just like a book or an audio book, and you can go in there and get online. So we really do want folks to get out there. And those who
we
are
don't
able
want
to
finances to be a reason that you can't get onto public land.
But it's also important to know that that contribution, becoming a park member, those dollars are directly reinvested back into taking care of these facilities, making sure that the opportunity is out there for you to enjoy it. This is something that's a really, really important part of supporting the system.
So a couple other things about, like, let's stay on this, is like what people can do. What are action items? Some of our parks have friends of groups, correct?
Yes. Yeah, many of them.
So a group gets together. There's already an existing one, or somebody says there's not one, and I want to be a part of the Friends of Memorial Beach or Friends of the Russian River. They create these groups, or they identify with, they connect with certain groups, and they do that. Tell me about a few of those.
And more so, there's Friends of specific to the parks, but what I see more and more is like folks who like to go fishing together and like to go biking together and like to go hiking together. There's this amazing ecosystem out there on the meetup groups, where folks get out there and really start challenging themselves to have multiple experiences, and they've actually become a really powerful and important voice that we listen to as well too, because they're giving us firsthand inputs and feedback on what that experience, whether it be a cross country runner, an equestrian out there, a mountain biker, all those things. It's really important, that feedback loop, because we're as much as we work hard to try and get the product right, we don't know everything, and things are always evolving really fast in the outdoor recreation world.
Good. Yeah. A minute ago, you talked about Sonoma County Regional Parks Foundation. Can you talk a little bit about what they do and who's on that?
Yes. Yeah. So our Regional Parks Foundation is an amazing group of volunteers who they raise dollars. I mean, their sole mission as a nonprofit is to provide resources for regional parks. And like the key things that they have is, you want to get involved with them and go on their website. They have a Park Pal program where you can sign up and just, it's a small monthly amount and you get invited to special events, but you'll start seeing where those dollars get reinvested. A lot of those dollars come back into kind of 3 things that come to mind. Like if we're, for example, if you're a river user, most of our life jackets that are available at all 7 access points are sponsored by our Parks Foundation. If we're getting involved in like a trail project, oftentimes we'll be working with the community and getting interested in raising dollars, but also getting folks who want to volunteer and come help on those stewardship days through alliance of partnerships with the foundation and others. And oftentimes when we're going to acquire a new park or we're going to do like a major reinvestment in a park, we have many parks that are aging and we need to raise dollars to reinvest and give them a new playground, give a new sports court, update the athletic fields. Our foundation is right there to help be a conduit for those user groups, to help get involved in human support and financial support, and really know more about the system and be more interested. And it's been wildly successful. The foundation was started in the late '90s. It has now grown to a point where it's a significant annual contributor to helping us make these things happen that they couldn't happen otherwise without those Parks Foundation dollars.
Well, the other thing is that there's certain things that it's good for government money to go to, and there's certain things that it's easier. Like I can allocate $100,000 to something, but if it goes through public procurement and other things, sometimes it's better just to have a volunteer day.
Yeah, well, as you might imagine, this love you heal from your constituents around our parks, we want to harness that, and many of them want to get involved financially and help out, and that's really been a big part of making those things happen.
So right now there is two things that can currently happen. One is that we manage the parks that we have, but we also got to make sure we have subsequent and sustained funding. I know you can't get into the details of the campaign, but can you talk about what is on the ballot coming up for people to be able to look at?
Yeah, so just
because I can speak to it in a different way. We reviewed just recently, but I just wanted you to kind of state just the facts, ma'am.
Thank you. No, so the pleased to report, in 2018, the voters approved what's known as Measure M, the Parks for All sales tax. So it's a 1/8 cent sales tax that benefits our county and our local parks via the cities. Since that's been implemented, really with the county regional parks, the focus has been on reinvesting into the maintenance of our facilities, taking care of what we have, addressing these long-standing deferred maintenance issues, particularly with our older facilities. It's hard to go get outside dollars to do that work.
Yeah,
we've been
you can get the grants to do new parks.
We can go get the grants. New parks are exciting, but to go redevelop one, it's a much harder nut to crack for
to go put a bathroom on one that you need to that's needed it for 20 years, right?
Correct, absolutely. And then a key focus really on providing access to the parks and really coming up with those accessibility improvements, those programmatic things that get folks inviting.
How much does that sales tax bring in per year?
It's bringing in a little over $15 million a year, of which about $10 million goes to the county parks and $5 million is being distributed between our cities.
Yep. And so it provides both. And so what we have coming back up on the ballot is?
Yeah, so the board's consideration, we were on just a few weeks ago, the board approved going forward with a potential reauthorization. There will be an action, hopefully on July 7th, that would ratify that, and voters may have the opportunity to see a reauthorization, extension of the existing 1/8 cent sales tax on this November ballot.
Yeah. So just anticipate that in November, you're going to have something on your ballot that is going to be a parks measure sales tax to continue the 1/8 cent. And then also just, one other thing is that that's additional to what the county already provides in terms of regional parks for its budget. Some of that's a general fund that we put in. Some of it comes from your own membership fees and other things. But there's this hodgepodge of funding that comes together to create the magic that we see on the ground.
Truly, that sales tax, it's an incredible stabilizing funding source that is essential for us. It's about 25% of our budget.
It's the reason that we've seen in the last 5+ years such a dramatic increase in the diversity, the accessibility, and then also the natural resource management of these parks. I'll just say it like the way it is. You got to have it. There's no better sales tax than something that's for parks and open space that everybody can access. So obviously I have my opinion. I'm going to vote yes on it. I know you can't get into that and weigh in on the politics, but I can. So I appreciate you bringing that up. There's, as we kind of wind through, just want to kind of hit through a couple interesting ones. You and I have
got the wild card question coming for me?
Well, I always have a couple. First of all,
let's go.
First of all, best animal encounter on parks for you.
Oh, and I was sharing this story with you. I'll share the same story. So, Taylor Mountain, I don't know, this was probably 6 or 7 years ago. I get this phone call at about 10:30 at night from one of my head rangers. He's like, Bert, just so you know, there's a mountain lion. We're trying to get a collar on it. The county, regional parks, we work with this large scale mountain lion tracking project, and they were trying to catch the female, the mama lion, to put a new collar because the batteries were running low, I believe was the problem. And what happened is the baby, the the cub of the lion ended up in the trap. And the animal's not hurt by the trap. They just go in there and they have to stop and wait. So, I'm always telling my ranger, if there's something interesting, like call me up. I want to go see it. So I head up about 11 o'clock at night to Taylor Mountain, up in a really remote area. It was not yet, the trails were not there yet. It was not yet open to the public. And I find myself in like this lion expert who's trying to work on the collaring aspect of it, and two of my other staff up there. And the craziest thing is like, they're trying to get the baby cub out of the cage, so they can get mama to come back in. And the whole time when you walk up,
Where's the mom?
Mama's circling us. I mean, literally like on about a 20-foot like diameter, like radius, like just walking around, pacing, and you just see these eyes. So
you couldn't see the whole animal.
You couldn't see the whole thing. You just see the eyes.
See
and the expert, his name was Quentin, was just kept assuring me in particular, because I was like, why did I get out of bed to come see this? You're like, no, this is you're fine. This is a normal behavior, and Mama just wants to know, like, as long as baby's okay, it's all going to be good. Yeah, about half an hour later, of a rather nervous, like, you just can't take your eyes off this thing circling you. I'm telling you, it's a feeling unlike I've ever felt before. Yeah. And baby cub gets out, and they disappear for a while, and later in the night, I believe it all worked itself out. But truly one of those just wildlife things of we don't always think about what we don't see in our parks. So in particular, I love on our Facebook page, we do our Wildlife Wednesdays, where we really share a lot of the wildlife webcam footage that we have going on. I mean, you see some of the most remarkable things. There's one down in Sonoma Creek at Maxwell Farms. I know I'm just chatting too long, so you got me excited. But literally, like this one camera spot, and it was over like a 10-day period. I even know if I can do justice to all the animals, but like this one camera, it's like squirrel goes by. Okay, not shocking. Snake slithers by. Okay. Then you got the deer. Okay. Then you've got like the beaver comes out of Sonoma Creek and is like nibbling on something. And then next thing you got the fox. And then you got the rabbit, and then you start thinking. Next thing you know, there's like a dozen mammal species that are rolling around in these parks all the time. And this is down in Sonoma, in a very urbanized area. Yeah, but it's really important in our work that like we preserve these things and create these corridors for these critters.
It's not just about mountain bikes and
it's about the
equestrian here's one. What's our current policy on e-bikes?
Current policy on e-bikes is currently we treat e-bikes. You had to ask me the e-bike question on the pedal assist only. There's no thumb switch where you can just go without pedaling.
Okay, you have to have pedal assist if you're going to get on the trail.
Pedal assist only.
Because the reason I ask is because we were riding. I went a couple days later after you and I did Taylor Mountain, and I went up and somebody flew by me and I thought they were in great shape, and then I saw that they had battery packs.
Yeah, but as long as they are pedal assist bikes, we treat them as if they were a regular mountain bike, and really it's what we see with the e-bikes,
as long as they're pedal assist,
is the rider behavior is what drives the bike, whether it be battery assisted or not.
But I can see what you're saying. Pedal assist, which is a bike that you can also, I mean, it's an accessibility. It's kind of awesome for people who would never be able to see a mountainside and they can get up. That's way different from another buddy of mine who has basically an e-bike, which is a dirt bike.
Yeah, e-motors is something we're seeing more and more of, and it's
that cutting up the countryside, that's a different deal. Correct. Those need to have their own tracks. Let's see here. One of the biggest things that we deal with, we have such good stories, but we have difficult stories. We always have to remind people that, invariably, once a year, we have to work with our employees and with families because we've had a drowning or two in the Russian River. Some of the things if it's coming up on summertime, it's already here. People are starting to get out more. Kids are going to get out of school. It's a reminder that, in many of those locations, we have life vests. We also have rangers who go through the areas and give people bilingual and give people different advice and say, watch out for things. But if you're on those waterways, make sure you do not get caught in strainers, right? Which are these the branches that are down, or the root systems of the bushes and the trees that are down in the water. That's the biggest thing that's going to suck you down. Anything else on that you want to share?
Yeah, no, and I think it's important. I mean, even just being on the river yesterday, I was just reminded. I mean, we're not at summertime flows yet. It's still extra water is being released down there. It's flowing about 50% higher than it will be in another couple of weeks. Also, as you mentioned, the life jacket loaner programs are available. If you see a life jacket hanging there, you are welcome to borrow it. Please give it back. But if you need to keep it, or you're going to use it next week, go for it. Safety is the number one. Also, this year, we're piloting off a new program at the river facilities because, as you mentioned, we have our Water Safety Patrol. That's a group of roving lifeguards and park rangers. Really, we found that there's not one sign in the world that can tell you, that can help you understand where you're at on that specific piece of river. Like, where does it drop off? Are there currents there? Are there strainers, as you point out? And really trying to sit down with families and give them an opportunity to explain where they're at on the river firsthand, point and show. Make sure if they're interested in a life jacket, how to properly fit that life jacket, particularly for younger kids or those who do not know how to swim. And then we're also this year we're looking at installing essentially throw and go stations where there's essentially going to be ring buoys available and things too, where if individuals encounter someone who's in distress, there's an opportunity, much like at a swimming pool, throw them a ring and see if you can help the situation while we summons extra help to come and get involved.
Great. I think it's, the diversity of Sonoma County is something that attracts people here, and therefore the diversity of our park system is something that attracts people. Like we say, is on a day, as much as I could say, what's your favorite trail? You're like, well, if I want to exercise and if I want to hammer it and sweat, I can go mountain bike up Taylor Mountain and then bomb down it. If I want to go and surf on a day when it's going to be 110 in Cloverdale and I want to get out where it's 67, I can go out to Dorn Beach.
Absolutely.
And I can go hang out there and I can do my thing. I can also, if I don't want to see anybody, I can go up to I can go to a regional park, or I can also go up to Lake Sonoma and hike a trail up in the hills. If I want to be around everybody, I can go to Spring Lake. Yeah. When I go down to that same park that I grew up swimming at, on the Russian River, Memorial Beach, I oftentimes ask families and people, I'm like, where did you come from? And it's very normal for me to hear of people who have come from 2 to 3 hours away to come to swim on the Russian River because they want to find a river that's open and accessible. So on that note, I kind of want to finish on this because as you and I know, we've worked so much together on the Russian River. So when I was growing up, I'm 48 now, so, we can all do the math. You look younger than me, but you're actually older. So, I know that. There wasn't much in the mid-reach. It was all this vacation wonderland, all these stuff in the lower river, everything from Wohler Bridge down, Steelhead, Riverkeeper, but like really the lower river and Jenner was where everybody went. And this area of the mid-reach, which I would kind of effectively say is like from Hillsburg to Cloverdale. I mean, we could extend it and say Windsor. And extend it down, was all private property. It's kind of back to this story about public lands and private lands. To be able to get on the river, you needed to have access. Yep. And there wasn't many points. One of the things that I'm most excited about that we've worked on is to extend and expand access on those places. For those of you who haven't gone to Riverfront, go to Riverfront. Get on the lakes, but also go take your fishing pole. We stocked it this past year with big steelhead trout that came out of the hatchery. There's people down there who have said they caught 18 pounders in that right now. But also go down past where the area is, where the lakes are, and walk. Just take yourself down to the edge and get down on the water on that section. It's beautiful. We have a whole new reboot of Memorial Beach in Hillsburg that's going to come along. That's going to take probably 3 to 5 years to really materialize in terms of seeing the difference, but we have some great plans that we're going to share with people about for the in-stream portion, and then Hillsburg's also put some of their money and use some of the county money to be able to expand Badger Park, which is going to be another access point. You and I have been working for years, and we're still trying to get a managed access point in Geyserville into the bridge there. We have the new park coming in Cloverdale. This is really cool, man.
Yeah,
it's
cool. We're really excited and really trying to push this water trail concept.
Yeah.
I mean, this integrated thing of it's not just one river access, but how more and more it's just a funny anecdotal thing to share with you. We've learned from Steelhead Beach over the years. We call it float Saturdays, sit Sundays. So Saturdays, people are more active. They tend to go downstream. They jump in a kayak or an inner tube or a stand-up paddleboard. On Sundays, they tend to go back to more what we consider traditional use of the river. Like they sit down with their blanket, they bring their family and their snacks and their barbecue out and have family time. And trying to kind of figure out all those things to integrate them together. But I would love to see, and we're really working towards the future where every 3 to 5 to 7 miles of the river, there's an access point where people can get in and they can get information of how, if they want to navigate it, how to do so safely. Because as we've talked about even on this podcast, different parts of the river have different needs, demands, rigorousness, and safety aspects that people need to know about, and really cracking that nut so people can come out and have a good time along the entirety of the river and have a different experience on different parts of the river and know what they're going out to and their equipment to bring and the perspective to bring.
Adventure is to be had in your own backyard. You don't got to get a plane ticket. You don't have to fill up the tank with gas, and drive somewhere far away. You can be in a place that people come from internationally around the world, and you can do it in your own backyard. So my big thing to everybody is, just like my family and we do, is get the pass, take the map, try something new. Also go to your tried and true places, turn off the TV, Have a great conversation with your kids. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be with you. Sonoma County Regional Parks is such a great thing because it's one of these things in public service that doesn't feel like politics. It's really public service. We are serving the public, and in an environment where politics are toxic, this is the solve. So I want to thank you. I want to thank your whole team for what they do. I love the passion they bring to it every day. I love how they take the headaches away from the community by dealing with the headaches of land management and other things too. So please send them our best and thank them.
I will share with them. Thank you.
And you'll see this measure on your ballot. That's not why we're doing this, but if you like Sonoma County Regional Parks, if you like getting outdoor, if you like opportunities being to everybody who doesn't have big backyards, then do what you need to help out.
See you
Thanks,
out there
man.
at the parks.
Yeah.